I've been fortunate enough to have been able to film and talk about watches over the last year, many of which have been sent to me by microbrands across the world, especially in the last 6 months or so. But I've always planned to create content about my own personal favourite watches, and right now I'm doing just that. Today we're looking at the HELM Komodo, but specifically the HELM Komodo with white dial, solid stainless steel bezel with light blue Lume markings, and the SS1 stainless steel bracelet, as I make my case to suggest that this is the best Komodo combo. And stick around as I take the HELM Komodo for a walk in and around the La Caldera de los Cuervos, a volcano in the beautiful Spanish island of Lanzarote, before a trip to El Jardín de Cactus, the largest cactus plantation of the island, in my usual walk around at the end of my vid. As ever, it's great to have you here. But before we do anything else, let's take a look at the watch's spec and inspiration, all in the next 90 seconds. When I was given the chance to buy a HELM Komodo, I was really stuck which colourway and combo to get, and with only 48 hours to make my choice, I spent one night iffing and ahhing and not really sleeping before I went for the white dial, solid stainless steel bezel with light blue Lume markings, and the SS1 bracelet. In this vid, I'm hoping to convince you that this is the best Komodo combo, but of course appreciate that it's all subjective. In the next 6 minutes, we'll also look at the brand, the watch dimensions, a look at the white dial, its case and crystal, of course that stainless steel bezel, the Lume, its crown, the SS1 bracelet, movement, caseback, what it looks like on the wrist, waiting lists and costs, my own personal final thoughts, which you'll probably think what the living flip is he on about, and all this followed by my usual walk around at the end of my vid as I take this watch around a volcano and to see some cacti. So let's go. What can I say about HELM? HELM is American owned and operated with roots in North Carolina, and is probably one of the most well-known microbrands in existence and produce the most sought after watches in existence too. Now HELM's mission is to produce durable, affordable, dependable timepieces. It's a company founded by Matt Cross, who is a long-time watch enthusiast with a particular passion for dive watches. Aside from the watches they produce, which include the Vanuatu in steel and titanium, the Kuraburi, again both in steel and titanium, the Miyako, and of course the Komodo, HELM is famed for its ridiculously, and I mean ridiculously, long waiting lists. Many wait up to 2.5 years, sometimes even 3 or even 4 for their time to come to purchase, and with prices ranging from only $285 to $375 USD, that's around £230 to £300 sterling, it's crazy to think that there are so many who are willing to wait in line for a watch that is fairly inexpensive with ultimately a fairly, dare I say, basic spec. And just to reiterate what was said in a very odd and wild 90-second spec in terms of its dimensions, the Komodo comes in at 15.5mm thick, including its domed crystal, 40mm case diameter, 47mm lug to lug, 20mm at the lug with a solid 316L stainless steel band, not tapering down at all to its push button deployment clasp. Now the Komodo is available with 4 dial variations: black dial with white indices, black dial with blue indices, orange dial, and of course the white dial, which is my own personal favourite. And all dials feature this highly legible circular indices, with the exception of the inverted triangle at 12 o'clock and the date complication at 6 o'clock, and note the Helm logo in subtle light grey. The white dial variation has those applied hour markers in light blue with a nice bold black outline, all of which are applied, and note the 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock hour markers have a thin black line pointing towards the centre of the dial to give this dial a nice bit of symmetry and balance, so a nice bit of detail there. And that dial sits at the bottom of this deep riort, which features numerals at every 5 minutes and minute markers in between, all printed in black. The hands are distinctly what you'd expect on a diver's, the minute hand being a classic plongeon, with the hour hands more of a cross between an arrowed and cathedral hand, both in light blue with bold black outlines, and that second hand features an arrowhead that falls perfectly within those hour markers with no overlap, again in black with the arrowhead in light blue. And actually it's all that black for me, nicely proportioned against the light blue hour markers and that white dial, that makes this dial for me the best Komodo combo that Helm offers. Classic white dial, soft light blue with the boldness of that black. The case is a brushed 316L stainless steel case with integrated crown guards and stands fairly tall at a juicy 15.5mm thick, which is fairly large considering its 40mm case diameter, giving this case a big chunky feel. And that case contains a dial that is nicely topped off by this double domed sapphire with a colourless internal anti-reflective coating. Now the bezel. This white dial Komodo comes with the black bezel and light blue lume as standard, but I paid the extra 25 USD, that's about 20 squids, for the silver bezel and light blue lume markings, as I felt that that brushed silver bezel really complemented the brushed steel case and the SS1 bracelet that I chose, but also because I felt that the black bezel was a bit too dominant and I really wanted that white and black and light blue colour combinations on the dial to really stand out more and to be the standout design feature of this watch. And that bezel is 120 click unidirectional rotation, and just to note that when you do buy a different coloured bezel you still get the black default bezel, which you need to change yourself, but it's really easy to do so. And that dial and silver bezel is lit up fantastically by Super Luminova BG W9 lume, and I must say is one of the brightest and most spectacular lumes I have in my personal collection. And the crown is a brushed 316L stainless steel screw down crown located at 3 o'clock and is approximately 7mm in diameter. Now all Helm Komodos come with a 316L stainless steel SS3 bracelet as standard, but I opted for the SS1 stainless steel bracelet as part of my favourite combo, and that SS1 is basically a 20mm brushed 5-link engineered bracelet, which I feel really complements that silver brushed steel bezel and white dial. Now when you buy any Helm watch, and I know this as I've got them all, you also have the option to pick out a nylon strap, which is available in several colourways. Again, if you opt for a differing band you still get the SS3 as standard. The movement is an NH35 automatic movement, 21,600 beats per hour, 24 joules, 41 hours power reserve, hacking seconds, very popular with microbrands and is a bit of a workhorse if not premium, but reliable nonetheless as we know. And the caseback is a screw down and features the Helm logo with some other technical information such as its very impressive 300 meter water resistance, which has been tested in accordance with ISO 6425-2018, ISO being the International Organization for Standardization, who are based in Geneva, Switzerland. On my 7.5-inch wrist, I won't lie and say that I was originally slightly concerned when I first purchased the Komodo that the 40mm case diameter would make this diver's watch look on the small side for me on my wrist, but it actually wears pretty large on my wrist, and that's thanks to its mainly very juicy 15.5mm height, which makes this watch stand tall on my wrist. Another factor is also this SS1 bracelet, which looks and feels nice and chunky despite it only being 20mm in diameter, and also that silver bezel, which gives this watch a lovely continuous metallic feel around the wrist. And that's another reason why I think this combo is the best Komodo combo. Now if you wanted to purchase the Helm Komodo, it'll set you back 330 USD, that's about 265 UK pounds sterling in today's market, and that includes shipping. Now for me, for a HELM watch, that is absolutely a stunning price, a real bargain, providing you get the opportunity to buy one. As I mentioned earlier, the waiting list for the Komodo can be 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, which in truth is a ridiculous wait time, but my advice would be to join the list ASAP and then join the really friendly HELM Facebook group, and often codes are donated on there. The other option is to keep an eye out on eBay, but buying a Komodo that is either used or flipped on there will set you back a good 400 USD or £325 sterling minimum, so be prepared to pay a big premium on there. Overall, HELM for me is one of, if not my favourite microbrand, and I'm privileged to own every single one with 1 or 2 variations in a couple of colourways, and they really are well designed, well constructed watches that perhaps half the appeal of which is that they aren't readily available, but a very decent watch nonetheless. And it's amazing to see a microbrand so well loved, so popular, with a waiting list that continues to grow and grow. Now this video was to show you my personal favourite Komodo combo, and I hope you liked it. But it would be great to hear about what your favourite Komodo combo is in the comments below. Good morning HELM, and good morning Spain.
Why do you keep doing that?
There she is, boys.
Someone cut this one. Oh, I got 150. Seriously?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, but this cactus.
We gotta water some gas. Cheese.
Probably. Yeah, but what would you do if you had an accident? That's why I didn't bring my phone.
Go.